Hey guys, so I've just started signature evasion, and what we can do is we can just talk through this as it's doing the threat check.exe. I'm gonna put the commands in either the description or the comment section, most likely the comment section, because the description has a character limit, so I have to put it in the comment section, which doesn't usually have one. So I'm just gonna read through this and then I'll kind of explain what we're doing and everything here. So I'm just going to briefly go over whatever they've explained here. An adversary might struggle to overcome specific detections when facing advanced antivirus engines or EDRs, endpoint detection and response solutions, even after employing some of the most common obfuscation or evasion techniques discussed. So to combat persistent signature, um, the bad guys can observe each individually and address them as needed. So in this room, we will understand what signatures are and how to find them, then attempt to break them following an agnostic, thorough process. Okay, and then it says as a prereq, you might want to have learn what the obfuscation principles were, but to be honest with you, this isn't that complicated. For task 2 here, oh snaps, hopefully this doesn't time out. Oh, please don't time out. For task 2, after I get my screen back, so don't time out. One sec, guys, I'm sorry. All right, there we go. So it's still doing that threat check. Wow, that check is taking a while. Let's look at the flag here. So they want you to find the nearest kilobyte. What is the first detected byte? So here's the answer. Of course, it's going in the comment section. The thing is that they provide you some instructions here and kind of go over briefly what splitting is. So you have your binary, which is just like an exe file. So if we go here, we can see we have a nice little binary here called shell. And it's possible we can split that binary and then analyze it with something like their threat check. You can do it manually, and when you do it, what threat check will do is it'll split it and then it'll check to see if the code is malicious. And if it is, so you can think of this kind of like a maybe like a 6-inch sub at Subway, you cut it in half and you have 3-inch, and then it's just checking to see, okay, is it malicious? Just trying to break it down in simple terms. Okay, and here you have the hex editor, which lets you see when it starts to be detected as malicious within the binary, and what caused it to trigger the signature to say this is malware, this is bad. Okay, and so let me go over to task 3 because it still doesn't really make sense at this point. Yeah, okay, I understand there's shell.exe, it's on the desktop. I need to run this threat checker to check to see if this thing is malicious, and it's going to cut it in pieces until it figures out whether or not it's malicious. Okay, like that makes sense right now, but what needs to be done is you need to go to task 3 in order to quite understand it more and ultimately to answer task 2, which I felt maybe they should have had you do. They should have put task 2 and task 3 together, but they didn't. So automating signature identification. So rather than doing it manually, like we learned in task 2, there's a way to do it automatically. Okay, and of course you can still use the threat check, and threat check leverages several antivirus engines against splitting compile binaries and report where it believes bad bytes are present. So you can see I have my threat check running now. It is splitting this binary as we speak. And on top of that, it's using, let me just scroll down here. It is using this And I'll put this in the comment section as well. So you have the access to the commands, you have access to the flags, you have access to everything you need to complete this lab successfully. You know, another good reason to subscribe to my videos is I walk you through the process. I give you the tools you need to be successful. There's many YouTubers out there who will brush through the topics and they'll show you the flag, but I'm interested in how you got there. I'm interested in learning, and that's why I'm interested in teaching you guys. So please like and subscribe for more content. All right. So here you have threatcheck.exe space dash F. Okay. Space, double quotes, your path to the file you want to analyze, which in this case is shell.exe. And then you can see space and then AMSI, as in Alpha Mike Sahara India. Okay, and what that is that is the anti-malware scan interface, which if we see here, the AMSI trigger, as covered during runtime detection and evasion, MSI leverages the runtime, making signatures harder to identify and resolve. ThreatCheck also does not support certain types of PowerShell that MSI triggers does. MSI triggers will leverage the MSI engine and scan functions against and provided PowerShell scripts and report any specific sections of the code it believes needs to be alerted on. So MSI does a deeper dive. And when we include that in our threat check, we are essentially doing a more thorough check. The great thing about this is that it's going to check it, but it's also going to take a long time because it's doing a more thorough check. So if you can see, I've been letting this run. It's been running for a minute. It's been running for a minute, guys. Let's see. Oh, actually, let's see here. So that's dash E. So it was a file space dash E space AMSI. I'm sorry. So if you ran that previous one, you'd get an error. You'd get this error here, which is why I said just move on from task 2. Let's go to task 3, right? Let's start doing task 3 so we can get everything we need. We can get the flags. Again, you probably wouldn't have experiences because I am putting the commands in the description. Highly recommend you take those commands. And once this finishes its scan, I am gonna Control C and copy that. For now, it's still doing it. But you can see it's finding the threat, it's splitting that exe file. And we can go up and we can quickly analyze where it is first detecting it. And if I scroll all the way up, you can see it starts off at 36,901 bytes. Testing, no threats found. Testing, 55,351. Threat found. And then you can see testing, 46,126 bytes found. So you can see, okay, so here you can see that we have, and I'm just gonna forward this so you guys can go ahead and get the flag you need here. But right here, it shows 51,098 bytes, and it's found the threat. Okay, threat found. But when you get to a smaller number, just a little bit smaller than that, so you're looking at 49,585 and no threats found. And it had to increase the size just to find the threat again. So essentially, if you look at between those two numbers, that's going to give you your flag because the lowest number in which it started detecting the fact that there was malicious code was around 51,000. It wants you to round it, so to the nearest kilobyte. So we've detected that it's 51,000. Again, that's going in the description. So if you're running into issues, you can grab that. And after we run that, then the next section here is to run the threat check. But in order to get the end of the bad bytes in the file, you're going to have to run the thorough version, which takes light years. Well, light years would imply that it's quick, but it's not quick. It's very, it's still going. Let's just say that it's still going. So let me go ahead and scroll down, see where it's at. You can see it's still going. I hope towards the end it figures it out, and I will copy that over. If not, there may be an error because whenever I did it, just without the dash E space AMSI, I got this error here, this unhandled exception. If it gives me this towards the end, well, I don't know what to say. There might be an issue with it, but we're just going to let that continue to run, and we'll return back to task 3. It finally finished running, and it did identify the bad bits. I had to run it twice, or at least it got kind of stuck, and I had to kind of just give it a push, and essentially it just got stuck here, and it wasn't moving down anymore. So I just pressed enter, and I thought, oh no, it's gonna probably, break out of the command. But no, it kept running, and then after I pressed enter, I was honestly doing hack the box while I was waiting for TRYHACKME to finish working. And eventually I got here, and it looks like it's giving us the offset. It's showing us where in the splitting that it identified the malicious code, and that should be what we need for the next flag. So I'm glad it worked, because prior to this I was just running into a bunch of issues, and I know you guys are probably going to run into the same issues. So I thought, why not just help you guys out and kind of give you guys these tips, because I feel like no one's doing it. I feel like people are just making videos and they're not really giving people the tips that they need to be successful. They're just sending them off, and it's just not working out. Anyhow, I got the flag here. I just typed in the bad offset there. So that's pretty much part 2 and 3. Looking forward to the next part. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make sure I copy over this command as well for the notes. So these are the notes. This always goes in the description, and you guys can just copy this command, and you guys don't have to wonder, am I typing it out right? Is everything correct here? And then figuring out an hour later you did something wrong. So let me see if I can copy it. I'm gonna have to hand jam this one. All right. Yeah, I might have to hand jam this one. All right, no worries, no worries. Why don't one of you guys tell me in the comment section if this worked or if you ran into any issues? I'm literally just typing it like I see it. And you guys don't need to see this. So we'll move on to the next one. All right, guys, for task 4, static code-based signature, we're going to be obfuscating method and classes. So here you can see they have a string, and it looks like they've got everything kind of concatenated there. And then what they do here is they build a new class and replace and concatenate the string here to try to obfuscate it. So that's kind of what we're doing here. And at the end, they mention how you want to change up strings like wdigest.dll, which will raise a signature basically for the antivirus. So to obfuscate it, you would most likely have to replace that string with random identifiers. And then they provide you this code here. Now, I was looking online, and it looks like this one was a challenging one, not just for me, but for other people as well, to the point where they had to actually look at DEF CON challenges, and I'll pull up one here so you can check it out. But if you Google it, and I'll put this link in the description, you'll be taken to this DEF CON 27 workshop material, and they actually provide the answer. So it looks like TRYHACKME got this from DEF CON, essentially. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this, so you can just copy it. And this is on page 64. So let me just put this in my notes here so you know what you're doing. So you're going to go, and I'm most likely going to have to post this in the comment section because there's so many characters here. I'm limited to about 500 within the description, and this can easily take up all 500 characters there. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to say page 62. And then we'll go ahead and do a lot of spaces like that. Usually I like to start the script with some equal signs. Script start. Yeah. And then I'll do script end. So you know where to stop and where to begin copying. There you go. And so what you can do is you can just copy this from the comment section, or if you want, you can follow this link and go here and copy it. Then after you copy it, what you're going to do is you're then going to create a document on your desktop. It's not so much a document. It's going to be a PS1 PowerShell script, essentially. And you're going to name it challenge-1.ps1. Okay. It's very important that it has a PS1 at the end, not the TXT. Otherwise, it'll be seen as a text file, and that won't work for you. So you have to go to View, and you have to enable File Name Extension, and make sure you, when you name it challenge-1.ps1 like you see there. After you do that, you're going to go ahead and upload it like you usually do, and using this here, right? Using this link that they provide you. Then you should get your flag. Okay. And so I'm going to copy it and just drop that in here. And oh, that's not what I wanted. So let me actually try this again. So copy. Oh, I forget. I'm working within the clipboard here, I believe. So I have to. Oh boy. Yeah. So they're just making this a little harder on me, aren't they? Let's see if I can Ramina into this. Let's see if I can Ramina into this. And I was having issues. That's why I was using their split view. I usually don't like using their box because they're slow, and I can't copy my notes like I want to right now. We'll see if I'm able to get in here and just grab that flag real quick because I don't feel like typing it out. Okay. Now I'm put the flag in the description or possibly the comment section because I'm limited to how many characters I can drop in there. So here it is. I pulled it up here. I'm just going to grab that, copy it, and I'm going to drop it here, and that should fulfill it. Awesome, it did. And then you guys are going to get the flag, and I think I'll just put that at the end of the script here. And this one was a tough one. It took me a good minute. So let's go ahead and move on to the next task. All right, guys, so we're doing task 5, which is static property-based signatures. So what we're doing here is we are adding some entropy, which is essentially randomness, to our exploits. And the more random they are, the more likely they are to evade signature-based detection. However, in the same light, there's antivirus out there that can detect for entropy, so the randomness of the file. So if your file has a lot of encryption in it, that's going to raise some alarms. On the other part, it can also, in some cases, bypass it. So here you have entropy, and essentially what this means is this is what entropy looks like for just the standard English paragraph, and this is what entropy looks like when you add random identifiers to that. You can see it's a little bit higher. So something like an endpoint detection response will detect that this is possibly malicious because it looks like you're hiding something. And in some cases we are. So anyhow, the hardest part about this challenge was actually getting the file copied over. You guys can use their attack box by all means. I don't like using their attack box or the regular box because I want to gain as much experience as I can with my own box so I can use this for future reference. So I'll teach you how to do that. Um, let's see here. So what I did was I just Ramina'd into their Windows machine. So I use Ramina. If you guys don't know, I like using it. You guys could install it on yours attack box. And then once you're connected to the TRYHACKME network, you should be able to Ramina in. Of course, try pinging if you have any issues or drop a comment in the comment section so I'll help you out. All right. And then once you're Ramina in, just open up a command prompt, just your standard command prompt. And after that, we're just going to type this in, scp-r space desktop binaries shell.exe. So we're taking the shell.exe from our victim's computer here, right? So this is the victim's computer. And then we're going to SC secure copy over to our machine. Okay. And once we do that, then what we can do is go ahead and put that into the temp directory, right? And once you do that, you're going to be prompted for the password. And you're going to be asked, actually, the first thing you're going to be asked to do is put yes, and then the password. And you're going to notice that when you put the input, it's not going to take it. But what you can do is just go ahead and copy your yes, and then just paste it when it asks you. And then when it asks for your password, go ahead and copy your password. Of course, this isn't mine. And also with SCP, you could also disable it so no one can SCP into your computer later on. All right, so highly recommend that. Anyhow, you copy your password, you put it in here. And once you do that, you should be able to get into your machine. Or actually, I'm sorry, you should be able to transfer this shell.exe over to your machine. So that's exactly what I did. I just transferred it over to mine. I have this temp folder, and I have shell.exe now in here. Okay, and you should see this 100% for the transfer went through. Now on your client machine, what you may have to do, and this may not be that hard, but let's see. Pull up my terminal here. The only thing you may really have to do is sudo system mctool start SSH. Okay, so that's going to start up SSH because by default SSH is not started up on your attack box, your own attack box. So you'll have to most likely just start up, enable it. Now I'm guessing once you restart your machine, the next time you use this, you'd have to probably run this command again. This isn't something that it's going to run by default, or unless you have like a bash script or something. Not a very good idea to just have SSH running on TRYHACKME unless you're doing it to just do a transfer real quick. So recommend that you just use this command here and get that over. Now you can use the OpenSSH server and sudo apt-get that. Yeah, I mean you can do that. I believe if I try to check the status of mine, it's inactive, so I don't think I used that to do the transfer. Let me check real quick. One sec, guys. I'm just gonna check the status of this. Okay, let's check the status of this. Okay, it's asking for my password. One sec. All right, I'm back. Yeah, so the status was inactive, so I never used that. I mean, I tried to, and it honestly I was having issues. So I'm gonna post the commands that I ran in the description, and appreciate if you guys like, subscribe. I'm probably the only one that actually uh, gives you guys the flags and gives you guys the commands. Like that's extremely beneficial. to have that all in one video rather than having to go look for someone's random blog. Hopefully not get hacked and get the information that way, right? All right. So let's see here. What do I got going on? You might have to enable. You might have. No, I don't think you have to run this. No, you should be good. So here we have the commands. And once you run that, you're going to want to just get the CyberChef website up and running. So you can just go here. This is CyberChef right here. I'm going to put a link as well. So you can just copy that link and it'll take you to CyberChef. And then here on the left, you can see entropy. And you can just copy that. What you do is you just grab it and you just throw it right here. See, I just threw it. I'm just going to cancel that. How do I cancel that? Just throw in the trash. Ah, there we go. Oh, I guess I can go through it. So you just throw entropy in there. Then you choose your input file. So it's the one with the little like arrow. And then you choose the shell.exe in your temp folder. And you go here. And you can see the entropy is set here. You can see it's higher than usual. So I guess for an EDR, that would kind of raise some alarms. So if we look here, you'll see that it's asking for a rounded value, and that's going to be 6.354. Okay, because if we look at the entropy here, it's 6.353. In fact, they're asking me to do math. I was a little stuck on that one, to be honest with you. All right, so there it is. That's it, guys. That's going in the description or the comment section, most likely, because I'm already fitting my description max values. All right, character limit thingy. All right, time to go to task 6 now. Go ahead and do this next task, task 6, behavioral signatures. So in short, this one was pretty complicated, but they do give you some code here, and they want you to obfuscate it, and they give you a breakdown. And so if you just copy this breakdown and this code together, you essentially will get the flag. So here's the flag, and here's what you did to get it, which was just copy that first section, and then that second section, and then the third section, and then you upload it. But of course, make sure you change it to an exe, so it's got to be challenge-2.exe, and by doing that, you will receive the flag. And by doing this, we're going to obfuscate the way we make our API calls to resources, because when we are looking at, maybe it was like a tree diagram here somewhere, or maybe I'm thinking about another room, but essentially besides the signatures, the hashes, the entropy, it also comes in fact that you're making API calls that's look pretty malicious. So it's going to raise some alarms, so you just got to obfuscate them. All right, let's move on to the next task. All right, guys, just finished this last one. Pretty great. So 7, putting it together, essentially, let me put out my notes here. You're going to want to utilize all of the skills you've learned so far in obfuscation, and they provide you some code here. So what you're going to do is you're just going to copy this, and you're going to paste it in Sublime text editor, which I did here. And so here's my subline, and use don't use that. Okay, and here it is here. Essentially what we did was we removed shell, the word shell, we removed the word C2, we removed printf line, we obfuscated the cmd.exe, added the structure definition, changed the pointers, changed process to P, changed the socket name, and compiled it. And then we had to install a program for that. So to save you the hassle, I'm just going to copy this. And the only thing you need to modify is going to be the attack box IP. So put yours there. I think I'll just put that in the notes. But that's the only thing you need to modify. As far as everything else is done. If you want, you can go through the painstaking process of doing that, or you could just copy the code that I'm gonna put in the comment section. All right, and I'm gonna put it in there like this. So we'll just do start of challenge C, because this is C code, so you have to name it C, and end of challenge C. Equal signs, end of script. I think we'll just put end of script. There you go. And for the IP, we'll just put in your own. I'll put an example. So 10.10.10.1, your IP goes here. And then for the port, you can use 443. I will use 443. Your port goes here, right? And that should be it. Once you copy that over to your text editor of choice, then you can go ahead and open your obfuscation folder, and you'll have your challenge C document there. And then from that point on, you're going to need to install something. So you're going to need to install, not that, put that away. Here we go. So you're going to have to install this program here, sudo apt install mingw-w64. So I've actually put the command here, so you can install that. And then once you install it, you're then going to need to run this command here to compile it. Again, that's also in the comment section. So here's that command to compile it. And then I guess that goes after, right? So I'll just put that afterwards. Let's see. Install mingw. And this one's compile. All right. All right. And I guess we'll just do this. See, those are comments there. And then once you do that, then you'll have to upload it. They provide you the IP address here. And you just upload it to that. And once you upload it, you'll see it kind of hangs. If it hangs, that's a good thing, because that means you have a shell. So let me pull up my shell here. It's not it. That's not it. Oh, here it is. All right, cool. And then once you're in there, it's in the desktop. So here's my netcat listener. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to set your netcat listener. So right after you compile it, you want to set your netcat listener up, and then you want to upload. Okay. And then once you do that, you'll receive your flag. Here is the flag. Copy that. Bring it over here. All right, cool. So that's the flag, and that completes all the rooms for this one. Let's see here. Yep, that's everything. Conclusion, we are done. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe so I can create more content. Again, the only YouTuber out there is currently providing all the instructions you need in the YouTube video, plus the flags, plus a complete walkthrough with an explanation. So I'm not just giving you all the answers, I'm giving you guys a class, a course. All right, anyhow, have a good one. Danny out.